Hello, YouTube. This is Chris Convectional Services. I know I just uploaded a video today. Today's going to be a double upload day. If you haven't watched my new video I just dropped, please go watch it. I know it's long and I apologize, but there's really good information in there if you're looking for the truth. Um, and I mentioned this guy, Robert Simmons, aka Mr. Blue Marble, and I played one of his uh, interviews he did where he said it's Photoshop because it has to be. And I wanted you to see in a short video that even though he doesn't say it in this particular article, that he does state that he fakes Earth, he fakes planets, he fakes solar systems, he fakes this blue marble. That's why it's called Mr. Blue Marble. So as you see, photo of Robert Simmons, front of the blue marble, NASA Goddard Space Flight Center / William Heibick, however you pronounce that. This was June 2012. Uh, Name, Robert Simmons. Title, Lead Data Visualizer and Information Designer. Formal job classification, Senior Program Analyst. Organization, he works for Code 613, Climate and Radiation Branch, Earth Science Division, Science and Exploration, Decorate, Dectorate, I think is how you pronounce that. Um, what do you do, and what is most interesting about your role at Goddard? See, that's what I was talking about in my last video, and I mentioned it before, with a capital G even, because it's the devil trying to play God. How do you help support Goddard mission? Listen to the wording here. My role is to make imagery from Earth science data. So, like he said in his interview, and I showed in multiple things in that last video I just made and other videos, is that they get these images that are bits and pieces of Earth, of the biblical flat Earth, and then they make them into a ball. And he literally uses those words here. Turn data into pictures. So they're not real pictures; they're fake. Just like I've said, and people like me have said, and I've proven multiple times, they turn this data, the ribbons, these little slices of images, into a picture. They're not real pictures. I look for new interesting events that NASA satellites have seen or that are hidden in the latest data to find anything interesting that shows off NASA's unique capabilities. Finding things is the fun part. I rely on engineers and scientists to produce the data, not to produce pictures and that they clean them up. No, the data, which I showed in my last video. So please go watch that. Their reliable real-time stream of 1.7 terabytes a day is incredible. The same as producing 3,000 CDs a day. We know where to look for the interesting stuff because each instrument provides a very specialized type of information. So if I'm looking for something specific, I know where to look. For example, recently there was a volcanic eruption in the Red Sea. The only reliable imagery was this was from NASA satellites. We basically confirmed the existence of a new island. Our team is purely about communications. We translate data into usable and understandable form. So again, they take these code and these ribbons of pictures that don't really show any shape whatsoever, and then they form it into balls and solar systems and galaxies and so on. Let's see here. Our team purely communicate, okay, form. Our writers and visualizers, which you'll understand more if you go watch my last video that I just put up, they visualize what it looks like. The writers write what they want. They visualize images that aren't real. Okay, explain what they are seeing, and our developers are their CGI experts. Tell the world. Uh, what is the coolest thing you have done as part of your job at Goddard? The last time anyone took a photograph from above Earth's orbit that shows an entire hemisphere, an entire hemisphere, one side of the globe. It's not a globe, but whatever. Was in 1972 during the Apollo 17 NASA Earth Observing System (EOS) satellites. were designed to give checkup on Earth's health. By 2002, we finally had enough data to make a snapshot of the entire Earth. So we did. The hard part was creating a flat map of Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. It wasn't that the flat map was hard to make. We've been making those for centuries. The the quote unquote or hard part, or more than centuries, but you get my point. But the quote unquote hard part was they were having to take these 4 months of data from the satellites that are flying under the dome on weather balloons and high altitude balloons. I've proven that as well. And then they have to go through them and pick what they can, what looks best for them, for their life they're trying to portray. And then they work it all together. It wasn't the map itself was hard. It's the going over all the data of 4 months. As you saw how much that data is at the very top of this article here. It's a lot of data that they go over, and then they piece it together and form what they want. Their imaginaries and writers form what they want. The people that, what was the words that they used here? Visualizers. That's the word. Okay, so let's move on. So, see here. Rito Stockley, at the Swiss Federal Office Meteorology and Climatology did much of this work. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball. They couldn't, even with the images and the data that they had from the satellites that are flying under the dome on a flat Earth, they couldn't find any data that was a ball. So they had to make it what it really truly is, a flat Earth. And then they took that flat Earth and formed it into a ball. That's what that says. Then we wrap the flat map around a ball. It's a flat map because it's a flat Earth. My part was integrating the surface clouds and ocean to match people's expectations of how Earth looked from space. In other words, he had to make it look as close as possible to the garbage that they had already been spitting out to people since the 60s, when they so-called went to the moon, and then they said, oh, we live on a ball. We've got proof. We've seen it from space. So now they have to match that and make it look like what they've already been spitting out. That's what that means. My part was integrating the surface clouds and oceans to match people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. They only had expectations of something because you told them, NASA. Okay? The ball became the famous blue marble. I was happy with it and had no idea how widespread it would become. We never thought it would become an icon. I certainly never thought I would become Mr. Blue Marble. We have since updated the base maps by increasing the resolution, and for 2004, we made a series of monthly maps. Okay? Right there in their own words, they literally say that they say a lot of stuff in this, the flat map around a ball. Why didn't they just take a picture of it? That's what they claim they've been doing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Please go watch my other video. It's an hour and 19 minutes or something like that. Um, but yeah, this is the guy that made the fake blue ball marble Earth initially, and now they've got teams and teams and teams of making fake imagery. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Use all the links in the About Me section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Much love. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one.